Hi, I'm Eric, also known as Trekkie V47, from the Ranger Command Power Hour and the Starfleet Escape podcast. You're listening to another great Four-Eyed Radio product. For more shows, check out foureyedradio.com. It's morphin' time!
Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of Appropriately Inappropriate. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode with our guest Andy Steinberg. If you haven't listened to it yet, go back and listen to it because we had a lot of fun. Let's see, before we get started with our guest this week, we'll do a little promotion stuff. Nancy's getting a text in. Who is it from?
It's Donnie.
All right, hey, what's up, Donnie? How you doing? Nancy's sister. What did she say?
She wants to know if these flip-flops would be a good present for Emma for Christmas.
And what do you think?
I think yes.
All right.
Because we live in Arizona. You can have flip-flops for Christmas. That's a good gift.
I wear flip-flops all the time. Okay, follow the show or like it on Facebook. Facebook.com/appinpod. APPINPOD. You can follow me on Twitter @Kevin_Elliott. Every day I send a tweet to the guy that's got @KevinElliott just to try and get his attention, and he hasn't responded yet. He hasn't been on since 2012, but I can't do anything about it. He's the one that has to give it up.
You need to figure out like a different way to spell it or something. Like spell your name different. I don't know.
I think they're all taken.
Oh,
all
he
realms.
Just bought them all up.
I don't know. No, not him, but by a bunch. I mean, Kevin Elliott's, I guess, a common name, but either way, I fucking hate this guy. And then shows coming up for me, the only one I can really promote out here for Phoenix would be December 26th through the 28th. So 26th, 27th, 28th at House of Comedy, me and Brant Tobler. So everybody go to that if you're in town for Christmas. Come hang out with us. We will party and drink with you after the shows every time because we do that anyway. So cool. Nancy.
Yes. I'm not going to be anywhere on any date, so don't follow me. You can follow me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Nancy Garrigus. I have a Instagram page that I just started using. It's ngarrigus, and I post funny pictures of my dog and shit like that, so follow me there.
So this week, I've been trying forever to get this fucker on my show. Every week I see him, and we have these conversations, and he is one of the coolest people in the world. And a buddy of mine. So everybody, welcome to the show, Mr. Mike Kennedy. Mike Kennedy, what's up, man? Mike Kennedy, baby. Woo, here we go.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
You have a very calm demeanor.
It's about I'm going at a really low speed. That's pretty much my speed today.
Yeah. So Mike is a comedian, does a lot of stuff out here in Phoenix, and he's one of the funniest dudes there is. Before we get started with anything, shout out, promote anything you want.
I'm going to be on the Food Network show called Worst Cooks in America, which starts January 4th. That's Sunday nights, I think at 9 o'clock. So that's mainly
a good spot.
It's good, yeah. I mean, it's, everyone's home on Sunday nights for the most part, so I'm pumped. I'm not supposed to say how many episodes I lasted, so.
Yeah,
but
you can't.
I've been saying it a lot.
It's called the Worst Cooks. So
Worst Cooks in America, yeah.
So if you do bad, wouldn't you last forever?
Well, no, it's like a competition, and then you have to progress and get better every week. But
so they start off the worst.
Okay.
Everyone was bad. I think I was the only one who was. I just don't cook. That's the thing. I've never had to cook, so I was literally really bad. I didn't know anything, and everybody else was kind of. I thought everyone else was a little bit faking it, like they knew what they were doing, kind of thing. So I was really behind the eight ball.
Yeah.
If that's a phrase I can use.
Nothing's off limits.
I don't know if that's appropriately used.
Dude, you're good.
Behind the eight ball. All right.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I know. When you do shows like that, you really can't say a word until after it airs. So it's kind of shitty. I don't want you to say anything on here.
Yeah.
Be yourself. So we don't need to talk about it anymore. Just everybody watch it.
Yeah, definitely watch it.
Because Mike's hilarious.
And then on Twitter and everything, it's Moses Kennedy. It's my website, moseskennedy.com.
Oh, that's right. Because he looks.
Yeah.
Well, you look like Jesus.
You do look like Jesus.
Well, I'm older than Jesus, so I made it way past Jesus. Jesus died at 33.
Dude, Geraldo has that joke about, what would Jesus do? I'm 8 years older than Jesus,
Yeah.
like when he died. I don't know what Jesus would do.
Yeah.
Be asking you.
I
what
know.
do I do now?
Well, We should all. There's going to be a lot of. I was talking about it last night. Eugenics. Do you know what eugenics is?
No, I don't. Here we
my
go.
God. Okay. Start the conspiracy clock now. Eugenics is like this idea that we're trying to depopulate the world. That's the whole United Nations Agenda 21. It's all stuff you can Google. It's fantastic. It's a good time killer. I'm into a lot of weird conspiracy.
So what's it called?
Eugenics is like this thing that Hitler did too.
I think Hitler just threw people in an oven.
Right.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
I believe that one, but but you see who funded the Nazis was the Bush family. It's you know about that, right?
No.
You didn't know about that?
Here's the thing.
George
Kennedy,
Bush's
listen to me.
grandpa.
I am an idiot. I don't read.
Right.
I barely made it through school.
Okay.
I don't know anything.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you say something, I'll tell you if I know it. Otherwise, just be
Assume
like,
you don't know everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with Nancy.
There's things you know, there's things you don't know, and then there's things you don't know that you don't know.
Yeah, and that's everything.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's about 80%.
You had me
Spectrum's
at
huge.
the first. You don't know.
Yeah,
Right
it's
there.
like you don't know this, you know that, but yeah, this whole thing with like there's this thing called the Georgia Guidestones. It's almost like a Stonehenge down in Georgia, and they have these big, and there's like the new 10 Commandments, and one of the commandments is keep the world population at 500 million people.
What are we at right now?
We're at 7 billion, so they want to
Whoa.
kill like 90% of the population. They want to get rid of, apparently.
Wow.
It's like a Jehovah theory.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
wild.
also
Like
a Bill Burr bit for like 3
Just
specials in a
swine
row.
what's that?
Yeah. That we should like get rid of 85% of the population.
Yeah, that's what.
because it's filled with morons.
Well, apparently they're taking care of it themselves.
yeah.
Well, then it's the other thing too is there's a thing called Codex. Oh, what is it? Something about the way the food is like they're taking all the nutrition out of food so that people will be malnourished and malnutritious, and that'll kill some people that way too. And then you got all the wars that kill people. Bill Gates does all the vaccines that are now crippling kids over in Africa. No one gives Bill Gates a hard time because Bill Gates has all the money in the world. So no media company is going to, badmouth Bill Gates, but he's a horrible person. And he
So we're off to a good start,
Yeah.
I think.
So you got a lot to write all that down and then Google it.
Wow. I mean, I'm not too worried about it, mostly because I have a lot of insulation. So, if
You're
they put some foods, I
nutritious.
could probably live a little longer
You're
than other
nourished.
people. Yeah.
You're good.
I'm
Yeah.
very well nourished.
Well, my thing is I try to eat really bad food, and then I'm almost like I'm never sick.
So
You know
you're
what I mean?
immune to it.
Yeah, I'm like I don't take any medicines. I don't do anything like that. I don't take any kind of pharmaceuticals. I don't trust anything like that. I believe in healing myself through just purging. Like I just had Jack in the Box on the way here. It was the first time I ate all day. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. It's the
yeah.
first thing I even put in my
Well
mouth.
done.
Yeah, it was good. And that'll probably be the last thing I eat all day too. So just one big, huge, gross meal that tied me over.
So you had me you told me to watch this documentary on Netflix. All right. Saw Mike at the club and he was like, dude, you got to watch this documentary called The Source Family. And I was like, in my head he said that, I'm like, oh, it's probably the family that made The Source magazine and how they got their fortune. So I'm like, cool, I'll put it on. It was nothing of the sorts. Did you watch it, Nance?
I watched as much as I could watch.
Oh, really? You didn't like it either?
No, it's not that I didn't like it. It's for me, it's like this. We'll explain it first, and then I'll tell you.
I want Mike to explain it because I don't want to
Hey,
screw it
when
up.
I
But
watch a movie when they do tons of cocaine, it gives me anxiety.
Oh, okay.
So that show was like tons of Colts, and just knowing about Colts gives
Not
me
the
anxiety.
Indianapolis
Colts, yeah. Colts, yeah.
No, yeah,
it was a
Colts.
lot of Peyton Manning, Johnny Unitas.
Yeah,
Oh, you get
not-
freaked out just by the idea of a
just-
cult?
Yeah,
Why? Why do you get freaked out?
it looks really scary.
It looks kind of fun.
It was so weird.
It
man.
looks
All right.
fun.
Fun.
What
about
it
that
is-
looks fun.
What,
I always
it's
say
like this guy.
a cult is good for like a year and a half.
Oh.
And then this kind of everything like power corrupts absolutely, like
The cult is a fraternity with a horrible ending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what cults
makes
are.
it a cult. Is it ends bad?
Okay, but did you see how this ends? You watched the whole
No.
thing or no?
No.
Oh, here's why it's
Don't get so
fascinating.
excited, dude. Don't jump to the end yet either. All right? Because you can spoil alert it after. What it is, this dude, Jim Baker, right?
His name was Jim Baker, ironically
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, he was a judo expert.
Yeah.
killed a guy.
Killed a couple guys with his hands.
Yeah, and then robbed banks to fund
Yes.
the restaurants.
That
That's
made
awesome.
made millions of dollars opening these restaurants on Sunset Boulevard. or then all of a sudden movies were being filmed like at his restaurants.
Yeah.
All these famous people went there to eat because it was the first healthy restaurant,
Right.
like vegetarian restaurant and stuff. So everybody ate there. It was all trendy. And then you start hearing all these people talk. They're like, I just looked in his eyes and it was like, you're my father. Okay, the weird guy. He's like, I went upstairs. He went to like the restaurant or whatever. He's like, I went upstairs and there was just this guy sitting down. And he was like, I didn't know what to do, but I looked in his eyes and I kissed his toes.
Yeah.
And he was like, far fucking out. I was like, that's the first thing you do, you weirdo. You are looking for a cult.
The
You
one
just
girl
kiss a man's toes that doesn't shower.
said she saw lightning coming out of his ears.
Yeah.
I literally saw lightning coming out of his ears.
I know.
I'm going, who's messed up? The guy with lightning coming out of his ears or the girl who saw it? It's a
But
lot.
see, I was out in L.A. and there's a lot of that still going on.
There
That's
is
the-
a lot of that going on. My mom was a hippie.
I'm scared that I'm in a cult.
I wasn't
and
around
don't
back
know it.
then, but she.
I think we're all in a
was
cult. I think we're all in a cult that you have to
It
work and you have to do everything and the debt,
Yet.
we buy things. And
The guy like millions of dollars. They said they went to his house. He just had a bunch of Rolls Royces in his
But he
garage.
just wore like robes. and
Yeah.
shit.
Long hair. Married this
Yeah.
one woman that was good looking, I guess.
He married more women.
16-year-olds, they want to. Yeah, they've had to marry them.
And everyone was cool with it.
'Cause
It was-
money's flowing. I don't know.
What? And then did you see the part where they got the start of the band? I listened to some of the music. You can listen to the music on YouTube. It's
Yeah.
way out there.
I believe
It's
it.
really out there. It's really out there. It's pretty well. It's kind of like like hallucinogenic kind of, where you're in a trance. It's
They're
probably good to
trying
take naps
dude,
too.
No, if you do that, you'll wake up in the
I just
cold.
feel like. And then do you want me to ruin it for you? Do you want
Yeah.
me to say how it ends?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he goes hang gliding in Hawaii. He never hang glided before, and he.
I'm sure he
Just-
did many
They
times
said
without
the
the glider.
wind was going crazy the whole time. And the second he got out, the wind just died and he went nosedive straight down. So they had pictures of it and everything, and you hear him laying there. It's like he broke his back, so they kept him. They brought him back to the house, laid him out. He's like, I'm not
So
going
they
to go to
didn't
the
take him to
doctor.
the
He didn't go
hospital?
to. No, he didn't believe in doctors or anything. So then he died, and he stayed there. He was dead for 4 days before they notified
They
anybody.
were just partying
But-
around the body.
Were they?
Here's what's crazy. Here's what's crazy. Like there wasn't everything else crazy. But that night, in the paper the next day, they announced that he died that day, and then there was a new star in the skies over Hawaii that they said they noticed. So maybe he really was God. That maybe he. Was
Don't
just-
say something like that, because now I believe it for a second.
Maybe in another, what, 2,000 years, they might have, he might. Instead of crosses around our necks, we might have little Rolls Royces or something, or a little.
Maybe.
Like
Dude,
we don't know
it
what
was
Jesus' story
weird.
was.
The names that they all had were hippie names, so that wasn't totally
That's kind of cool.
different, right? But it was like heaven, aqua, something like they
One
all
was
ended
electricity.
the same.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
all Aquarius. Was,
Yes.
That's it.
No, was it Aquarius or Aquarian?
Might be an Aquarian.
I
Whatever.
think it was.
But heaven, electricity,
Little
and then one
child.
guy was like, he was pissed at his name because it was
Orbit or
stupid.
something,
Yeah,
Well, he was kind of an
Orbit.
ugly looking guy. But it's weird to see like hippies when they get old. Like you ever see the
Yeah.
one about Play? You know what Plato's Retreat is?
No.
That was like the swingers club in the 70s in New York. And that documentary is pretty cool. But then you see all the people interviewed that were all hanging out there, and now they're like they're 60 and stuff. They're like, we just love being naked and then fucking, and it's like, oh, gross. I don't want to hear about your stories.
Because it looked like there was a couple that had gotten out of it, right? By
Yeah.
the time they talked to him today, whenever it was filmed,
Yeah.
that they were like normal dressed and looking people. But then there was a couple that it's like, dude, you
They're
still,
still
are
out
in
there.
there.
Yeah, yeah. There's a few that are still.
Living the dream.
One guy was off the grid now. He's talking about
Yeah.
things are coming and seeds. He's got a seed bank. Got to have a seed bank, man. Got to have a seed bank. Some heirloom seeds. Got to have those heirloom
Dude,
seeds.
so you watch a lot
I
of
actually believe in
documentaries?
that, so.
What?
You watch a lot of documentaries?
Oh, yeah, totally. It's about all I ever watch are documentaries nowadays.
What's your favorite?
My favorite documentary? Oh, man. Like a conspiracy type one? Or
Anything.
oh, I love
Because
Zeitgeist.
I like 30 for 30 from ESPN are my favorite documentaries.
I watch a bunch of
I love
those,
them.
yeah. I watched, Zeitgeist. That's one that really kind of
What's
changed.
that?
You've never seen Zeitgeist?
No, I haven't seen any of this.
Oh, dude, Zeitgeist is about religion, and then it's about 9/11, and then it's about the Federal Reserve and
Dude,
money
that's a
system.
lot of conspiracy theories up in there.
Great, but it's like the idea that Jesus is a sun god. Like all gods are based on the sun, and you think about the 12 disciples, like the 12 signs of the zodiac.
But they keep adding more
Of what zodiac?
signs. Yeah.
Oh no,
There's
well,
a new sign.
what's the new sign?
It's like a snake.
Stop sign.
The snake. The snake. My daughter is the snake sign.
Oh, really?
There's a new sign, 13th sign.
Ooh.
How's your daughter that?
Because her birthday is.
Oh, they
in those-
chopped one
Yeah.
off.
They
like
cut
a
one down?
date and
How can they
added
do
it.
that?
They did it.
I don't know.
Just did it.
You know, they didn't even have like calendars until like the like
1990s?
1600s or something like that. Before that, because they didn't have it.
When they can make a cat calendar.
They didn't have,
We got to put this into a 12-month thing.
The thing about it, though, like until like the 1600s, they had no clocks,
Yeah.
and that's kind of messed up the whole concept of time now. This idea that time is
sure.
this thing, because you should just live your life and be like, oh, this is
Especially if
just
you're living up in Alaska.
who I am. I
You're like,
have
dude,
no
it's
idea.
been the same day for like, I'm old now.
That would be
It's the
weird.
Same day.
Where it never goes. Yeah, it never goes
Yeah.
dark. I love that.
I'm looking this up for you.
Okay, so
It's 13 signs of astrology. It's been
I've heard a
for
lot.
2 years.
They call it the snake.
Something like that. I'm
That
looking it
doesn't
up
make
for you
any
right
sense.
now.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I don't
Makes
believe in it.
perfect sense.
Dude, this one time, I don't believe in astrology or any of that shit. Because if you don't like what you read on one thing, just look up another one.
Right.
And until you find one that you like. Because it's always
I
different.
always like other people's.
But I was having a conversation much like this. I wasn't even having it. I was just in the conversation. And I said, I don't even believe in that shit. And the person who started the conversation, the woman, was an astrologist. So I pretty much told her that her job is
Stupid,
bullshit.
yeah.
And they were like, dude, this is her job. I'm like, well, I didn't know that, but I can't get out of it now. So I'm just going to tell you, I don't believe in what you do. She's
How
like,
did
I
she
don't
react
believe
to
you're
that?
funny. Because it was after a show. I was like, that's fine. If that's where you're going to cut me down,
Yeah,
then we're
it's
good
like-
here.
Okay,
You
so
and I are good.
due to changes in the Earth's alignment, the dates of many zodiac signs have changed, according to NBC. In addition, there may be now a 13th zodiac
So
sign.
Fox could be different.
Ophiuchus. I don't know how to say it.
Am I still a
big one.
Leo?
I'm
don't
gonna
give it-
look
I
into
don't
that.
care. I
Wait,
don't
when's
give
your birthday? August.
Yeah,
you're
11.
still a Leo. So it affected the December birthdays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Does that mess with you?
No, mine's June 28th.
Okay.
I'm a Cancer.
Yeah, I know
I'm-
you are.
That's worse.
I'm a
When somebody
Gemini.
goes,
Everywhere you go,
what are you? And it's like,
just
I'm a
Cancer with a
Cancer.
group.
I'm a Cancer.
Isn't
I
that
know, it
shitty
just
to say?
sounds bad.
And then it's a crab. The animal. It's a
I like
crab.
mine. It's
So
good.
stupid.
What's yours? Leo the Lion?
I'm glaucoma.
I'm 2.
I read a thing the other day. Supposedly, like, Cancers are supposed to be moody, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Really?
oh yeah,
Okay, so it's
the charmer.
oh, I was wrong. It's November 23rd through November 29th. Oh wait,
6 days.
no, my mistake. The 29th through December 29th is now the new sign.
That's weird.
Possibly,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Wish
We'll
I had
see.
my phone to look that up to come back.
Mike lost his phone.
I lost my phone 2 days
Which is
ago.
it is the worst feeling.
It's
I haven't done it in years.
and then they're claiming I
Shitty
don't
thing is, rotary house phone. Lost it.
yeah, lost everything.
Call the operator. Your operator.
I don't know. The weirdest part about the night is I lost the phone. I can clearly remember making a decision and just going, hey, I lost my phone. And it didn't stop me from carrying on with the evening. It didn't make me turn back and go, maybe I should go look for it. I just was casually like, hey, lost my phone.
That's pretty good. Because,
No.
dude, when I misplace my phone in my house, I freak out.
Oh, I'm freaked out now. I mean, I got everything on that
We're
phone.
so reliant on it.
I could be getting tons of text messages and emails from desperate women all weekend, and I don't even know about it.
I have another phone to find my phone in case I lose my phone.
Yeah, my old
Jacket.
phone. Yeah.
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I put a chain on mine, like a chain wallet. Just hook it to
Oh.
my pants.
Okay, so this is my husband's. He's asked me the other day. You know those tiles they're selling now to track. It's a tracking device basically. The little square tiles. He goes, "Do you think that would be a good Christmas gift for everyone?" I think that would be the worst Christmas gift for everyone. Oh, good. Now Billy knows exactly what I'm at all the time. That would be the worst gift. Hey, I got you a tracking device. Here you go.
Yeah,
That'd be a
right?
terrible
Yeah.
gift.
Do you not trust me, man? What
What's
Yeah,
are you
right.
doing here?
going on
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
So don't you think everyone would love that? I think no one would love that.
Fuck no. Although, dude, your old job, you would have loved it.
Oh, well, we had guys. I was a private investigator. And
FBI.
Dude, awesome.
we had a guy who put GPS units on cars. and then be able to track them that
No
way.
way. Like in the
which is
movies?
completely
The
illegal.
old wheel well trick.
It's completely
now you just go
illegal.
on their Facebook
Oh, it is?
and check in where
totally,
they. Now you
totally
just see
illegal.
where they checked in on Facebook. You don't even have.
Yeah, that's
a
what
job now
Facebook
because of
killed
that.
me. Yeah, Facebook and
How
Twitter killed me.
was it fun being a private investigator?
It was awesome, but now like I might go back and do it because.
Are you allowed to tell any stories?
Oh yeah, I mean technically not really,
Well,
but
the reason he
oh,
was
I
like,
can, yeah. What do you?
wanted to get these tiles is we got a call. Well, my kids called me from school. They're like, the school's on lockdown. Someone was in the area with the gun, so now the school's on lockdown and whatever. So I was like, all right, I just went to the school. I'll pick my kids up. I'll go get them out of school. Just solve that problem. I couldn't get them.
I'd be the one making the calls just so I can get out of school.
It's crazy they have all
Yeah.
those lockdowns. That's
Scary.
nuts. Like
Well, our
And then
senior year,
my niece, I was at her school Friday. There was a bomb threat, so we went and picked her
Jesus.
up.
our
You
senior
had a
year
lockdown?
of high school. Well, yeah. We didn't have it. But
No, they
our
never.
senior year of high school was when Columbine happened.
Yep, that was scary.
And so it was like, I think it was in our second semester. So
Yeah,
we were
it was towards the
graduating.
end.
And once that happened, kids get that trickle down effect. We're like, fuck it, man. I'm going to call in.
Well, there was
say
that
this
one
and that,
day
right?
at our
Yeah.
school where there was like, something's happening today.
Yeah.
Tons of people stayed home. I went.
I stayed
Did you?
home.
Oh, I went.
No, anytime we heard an inkling of something,
You
I'd be like,
stayed
I'm
home.
taking. Because at that point, it didn't even matter either as far as going to school. We were done. We only had,
Yeah.
a month or two or whatever left. But, I mean, we just stacked days of missing days, like
I just
everybody.
figured I'd had.
And it wasn't just me. I mean, it was a lot of, we'd all go to,
like.
like, some public pool and everybody would just all day hang out and instead of
why?
going to
Because you
school.
heard something was going to go down
Yeah,
at school,
leave
and you're just
notes
like,
at our
Rather be
school.
safe than sorry. I mean, we didn't think that it would happen, that anything bad would happen.
But he
But
took
we're like,
advantage.
dude, we're going to graduate soon. We don't have any more classwork. We're good to go. We're not going to go. And our
Really?
parents would just call us out. They'd be like, yeah, you guys are good. I don't want you to be there. But also, there was no security system for it.
I never even thought.
no
I mean,
system.
when I was in high school, I never even thought about somebody.
Well, yeah, because
Doing
nothing was going to happen. We didn't think about it either.
Yeah,
Up until that happens. And then we're like, oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Columbine was our senior year, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
I used to. Oh man,
Dude, that was
Do some
fucking crazy. And then to hear like, it's like, yeah, they walked into the library or something, and it was like all jocks and people wearing hats stand up, and they just blasted them. I'm like, dude, I'm a jock and I wear hats.
Yeah.
So fuck that. I ain't going to school.
Yeah.
And I'm not the nicest person in the world to some people.
Oh, if they would have had like Combine, oh yeah, I would have been one of the first people that someone was looking for.
See, I just assumed I would be off the radar. Nobody would be really interested in shooting me. So
Yeah.
I felt
And our
safe.
school was so big too that it'd be like, I mean, if it's going down, what are the chances
We could get
that
away.
yeah.
We could have gotten
I had a guy confront me at like their 5-year high school reunion. He was like, he goes, "You were always mean to me," and I go, "Dude, I don't know who you are." I was like, I felt really bad.
Who has a 5-year reunion? I'm still
was pretty
not
sad.
overseeing those people.
It
in
wasn't.
5 years.
Mike was actually still in high
5-year,
school.
the 5-year
5 years
reunion was
extra,
pretty. It was
so-
pretty ridiculous. It's like
And
all
the guy
this-
came to teach his class.
I'm still like, I don't miss see people yet. At 5 years?
I remember the
10
highlight
years.
was this one dude. It was a real weirdo in our high school, and he was all excited because he was working at a adult, like toy store. Adult, you know what I mean?
He was excited.
Well, he was like, I go, "What are you up to now, man?" He goes, "Oh, I'm working at what's it called Adult Pleasures or something like
When they're
that."
open 24
Creative.
hours, how did he get the time off?
And he was like pumped that he goes, "Yeah, it's like $12 an hour." I go, "Oh, yeah. Nice." He goes, "Oh, I got a script to come up, but that's not good." I was just like, "Oh, yeah," because he works in the booths, the booths. I was like, "The booths? What?" I was like 23. I didn't
The
know.
beaded door.
Yeah, like I didn't know about the booths. Like he's like, "Oh, that's kind of gross, but it's still $12."
Kind of gross.
It's like $12,
gross,
but still $12 an hour. He's all
Yeah,
excited about
$12
that. It's
an
like,
hour.
yeah.
$12 an hour. Then he spends
Maybe
8 on the
tips.
movie,
Yeah.
so he's
Yeah.
making 4 an hour.
Right?
like,
Take
yeah.
it on
Take it out
4
of my
now.
salary.
was
$12
like, wow,
an
dude.
hour.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
he was a bit of a weirdo.
I
He also
love
had
the-
a like bug shield on your truck. Like if you have
Plastic
Yes.
thing?
the bug
Yeah,
shields at the front.
yeah.
His said crotch hound, and I was always like, you're not going to get a lot of second dates
No.
when you pick up a gal.
A lot of Great Danes sniffing my crotch. I don't get it. I don't know, man.
I'm going to reverse
I'm
into
a
your
crotch
house.
hound.
When I pick you up, I'm going to back in.
Yeah.
Just don't ask. Just get in.
There's a rumor that he had some sort of like a soft, like he had a bit of a caved-in head from, like he might have had some brain
Drop.
damage. Yeah, he might have been slightly brain concussed.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's public school. You know what I mean? You get to meet everybody in your hometown. There's no exclusivity there. It's not like,
No one left behind.
yeah, like, oh, that is what sucks about high school. Is like the one time in your life where you're stuck in a place. You have to go there for the most part. I mean, now there's a lot more people are getting homeschooled, I guess. But like, you know, you're just there with the other people whose parents made the decision to buy a fucking house in this horrible town, and now you're stuck with them and going like, oh, you're a weirdo, dude. But I gotta be here, I guess, until I'm 18, and then and then you can never get away from them.
Nah, never. Did you live close to your school?
I couldn't. You mean like walking distance?
Yeah, or like a short bus ride. I mean, did you have to hop one bus to the next in order to get to your school?
No, in high school I got a ride with a girl who ended up being in Playboy. She's
yeah?
Girls of Big Ten.
Give it up for her.
And I had a boner every morning on the way to school. It was very cool. Everyone thought I was having sex with her, and I was like, I wish. She was banging some 29-year-old dude.
How did you manage to get in the ride?
I just lived right down the street, and
All right. That's an
I
easy
think
way to
I would
do it.
sit in the car, like she had a Camaro, pretty sweet Camaro, like a 78 Camaro. And I would just sit there silent. I wouldn't say a word. Practically, I'd be like, hi, thanks, see ya. A little bit of a nerd. Yeah, I played sports, but I was afraid of girls, you know.
What sports did you play?
I played baseball and basketball.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're a tall guy. Were you good? Was your team good?
Our team was horrible. We were good in baseball. Our basketball team was like 5-16 my senior year. We were terrible.
Yeah.
I was convinced I was going to be the next Michael Jordan. They wanted me to play power forward, and I was like, I'm not a power forward. I'm a guard. Come on. That was horrible.
What are you, 6'4", 6'5"?
6'4", yeah.
And they put you – we had that too. I think we talked about that where it's like our tallest guy was like 6'4". So like, dude, you're a center. I'm like, yeah, but at the next level he's not. He's going to be a horrible guard.
Was it Russ? I remember that one tall
yeah,
guy.
I remember Russ. Yeah, he was the center for a season.
What high school was this?
Desert Mountain here in Scottsdale.
Oh, okay.
How did you two meet?
Comedy.
This is comedy, yeah.
But you were in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
What's the sports like out there in high school?
It was pretty competitive. That was big. High school sports in Wisconsin is a pretty big deal. And our whole town, our games we'd have like 1,000 people at basketball games and stuff.
That's cool.
Because, it's like a town of like 50,000 people. So that's like really what you are is like, you're in the paper, like the articles in the paper and stuff. They're like, it's not like tucked way in the back of the sports. It's like right on the front page of the paper. And you're like, oh, that's cool. And you're getting interviewed and stuff. And
that is awesome.
It's pretty wild.
Did anybody make it, go to like a big college or get to pros?
Nobody. That's the great thing about my hometown. It's they've had a lot of guys that have done well, but no one's ever made it to like the pros. It's great.
Oh, man.
It was like a big baseball. Baseball was our main sport, and then there's one guy that played for the Twins for a while, but that's about it. I don't know if now, lately, if maybe guys are, since I've been gone for like 20 years, I don't know if anyone's done anything now.
Yeah.
Now we have some black people. We never had black people before.
See, so things are looking
That
up.
hurts. Yeah, that hurts your chances of
Yeah.
Oh, there's a girl right now who plays in the WNBA. Does that count as a
Yeah,
sport?
that counts, dude.
Yeah,
Brittany Griner, what's up,
Misty,
girl?
Misty Bass went to Duke, and I think now she
No
plays
way.
for she maybe plays for. She's Chubby Checker's illegitimate daughter. How about that? How about that for some trivia? How about that for some
The one person to make it out of Mike's high school.
Chubby Checker.
WNBA. Chubby
Checker's daughter. He was coming through town, I think, at the fair, and he banged this woman from my hometown.
I believe
and then
it.
he just
At the
kept
fair,
on.
why not?
He kept on traveling, and then she was a great athlete.
Wow.
Yeah, Chubby Checker.
Checker. He's the twist guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he must have done the twist on a lot of ladies. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's probably got more.
30 years
More
after the fact, he was
basketball
still living off that one song and banging women.
God damn, how many kids do you think he has?
Right.
Hopefully enough to support him now.
Right.
He's calling them. I think you're my son.
I think it's time for a paternity.
I'd like to get some of that WNBA money.
Clinic.
You from LaPorte, Illinois? Or Indiana? That's where that is.
Do you have a fair in your town every season? Maybe a carnival? Do you frequent the carnival?
Yeah.
My first concert I ever went to was Kenny Rogers at the fair. It was pretty
Whoa.
exciting. Pretty exciting.
1958.
What was
In
your
1970, I think it was 76.
Yeah?
I wanna say, yeah.
Kenny Rogers, how awesome was that?
1976?
What's that?
How awesome was that?
It was amazing, yeah. My mom was a huge country western fan, so it was
Yeah?
like Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, all that stuff.
Wow.
Elvis, huge Elvis fan.
Oh, dude, my dad too.
Yeah.
Played me some video today of a kid that sounds just like Elvis Presley. Like he sings Elvis songs and he sounds exactly like him.
I hate these kids. These kids are being annoying.
I don't know the dude's name or anything. If I find it, I'll post it on the website. But yeah, it was crazy. I mean, literally sounds exactly like him. He's a kid.
Did he do funny things with his lip?
No, he just sang. It was weird because he sounded so much like him in being a kid that it was like, I even asked him, like, is this dubbed?
Was he trying?
Yeah.
Like to sound like him, or
yeah.
that's just who he
No,
sounded
I think
like?
he was trying to sound like
okay.
him. But he
Because
can
I'm
do
like,
it.
Wow, like really sounded like.
Dude,
or
it was crazy.
How old
Like
is he? Like
seeing
9,
cover.
10?
No, he looked like probably 16 or 17.
Oh, okay. So he's like
Yeah, he wasn't a little kid.
Ain't nothing but a hound
Little
dog.
Justin Bieber.
the next
Beebe.
Justin Bieber.
No one's ever going to go, wow, you sound just like Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
That'll
no.
never happen.
Yeah, no one's. I
I don't
can't-
even know what he sounds
Yeah, I
like.
was gonna say I don't know what he sounds like. Yeah.
I don't know either.
Me either. All right, so before we got into any of this stuff, did you ask what favorite concert first?
What was your first
I
concert?
don't know. What was yours?
MC Hammer?
Was it really?
Nice.
It was.
That is
Hammer
nice.
Time. It's Hammer Time.
That had to be a crazy
It
concert.
was cool as hell. My mom
4,000 people on the payroll. It better have been.
I was paid to go there. I got those cool pants.
Did you?
My mom got me the cool pants, and she's like, "It's Hammer Time. Let's do this."
Wow.
Yes, I was so excited. I mean, I was 7, 8 years old.
Where was
8
it
years
at?
old.
Like American West?
Probably. It was loud.
Veterans Memorial way back then.
Yeah, it was far.
Shit.
It was fun.
That's cool.
It was a nice mom.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember mine. I'm not a concert guy though.
I like concerts.
Yeah?
Not so much anymore, but
Have you been to a lot of them?
tons.
You've
yeah.
been to tons of
I
them?
went to the last Grateful
No.
Dead concert.
Not a ton.
Huh?
I saw the Grateful Dead twice. Yeah.
I saw the last concert, but just once.
Yeah. I saw the same weekend. One night I went with my boss, which was very conservative. And the next night I went with my girlfriend, and it was very high. It was a totally different experience walking around. I was like with my boss, like, oh, there's a lot of people on drugs here. This is not good.
I went
Dude.
when I was like 13, and I couldn't believe, 14 maybe, 15, young, what I was seeing. I knew what was going on, but I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It was out there. Yeah, it was cool.
Sold in Chicago at Soldier Field.
It was like the Source Family.
Oh,
It
cool.
was way cool.
Man.
It's when I first
I
started
hated
smoking pot.
concerts so much that my friends wanted to go see Dave Matthews Band. I don't like Dave Matthews Band at all. Every song sounds the same. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to go. But all of them, all my friends were going. So it's like, I'll drive you guys. You could pay me. I'll drive you. And I'll pick you up. And so it worked out to where I took one of my friend's dad's Suburbans. Everyone piled in it. They all gave me like $15 a person.
Nice.
It was like 10 people, maybe 12. They all just crammed in. Dropped them off. Drove back to my house, relaxed for a couple hours. Went and picked them up. I was like, dude, I made $150 and drove your parents' truck.
Nice.
And because I didn't have
The
anything to do that night anyways. Everybody's going. I don't have shit else
first
to do.
Uber.
Yeah.
So I did. And then another time at a concert, which was at the same place. It was an outdoor venue. And we had like lawn seats. And I couldn't tell you what the concert was. Actually, I think I could. I think it was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to pee really bad. So people were going to the back wall, like up where the grass area is, up to the back wall and just peeing and then coming back down. So it's like, cool, dude, I don't want to walk to the bathroom either. I'm just going to do that. So I go and I start peeing, and instantly a light comes on me from the police, from a guy like security. Like, hey, what are you doing up there? You pee? Get over here. So I just like sucked the pee in, ran and ducked into the crowd, and just swerved all the way over. And I took my phone. I was like, I can't go back to the grass. So I'm going to see you guys outside. It was like this concert had just started.
And you got busted for peeing almost?
Well, I didn't because I serpentined through the grass.
Nice.
They didn't catch me after that. But I was so nervous. I get nervous all the time. I'm getting caught doing like stupid things. I never do anything bad.
Right,
It's
right.
like just stupid. How shitty to get a ticket for peeing in public.
It happens a lot from
Yeah.
what we talk about.
It
all the
does
time, and
happen.
all the
My
people
buddy
we
got
talk
one, yeah.
to.
What's the best concert you've been to?
Best concert I've ever been to. I went to see Prince once. That was really
Oh,
good.
that would be awesome.
And then, I mean, I've seen U2 a couple times.
I don't like you two. You like you two?
I used to really like U2, and then I dated a chick who was really into them, and now I hate U2. 'Cause that's all I ever think about when I think of it. I'm like, I don't want to listen to that. Worst real concert I went to was AC/DC. That was pretty amazing.
Whoa,
That was pretty. I was like, this was about 84, 85.
dude, that's awesome.
So that was when they were doing pretty good.
Yeah.
At that point, they weren't threatening to murder people. At that point,
Always a lull.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I get disappointed when I would go to concerts because they sing the songs all different.
Yeah, I can't really sing along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get crazy either. That's the thing, too. It's like you feel like if you go to a concert, you should really get pretty wild. And I just kind of sit there and watch and go like, yeah, all right.
I went to a Boys to Men concert. Don't judge me.
BBD.
I went to one, and the woman sitting next to me passed out when they went on stage because she was so excited.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She was just screaming, ah, and then just
that?
passed out. It's like, whoa, this is too much, man.
Well, I saw Paul McCartney once. That was pretty cool.
Man, you go see like cool things.
Yeah, I saw Paul McCartney.
Man, I see Boys to Men,
And someone passes out.
and yeah, you're like AC/DC, Kenny Rogers, Prince, and it's like, dude, I can't compete with that.
Yeah.
Can't I sing in the shower?
You know, I went to a Santana concert in Tucson. There's really not a lot to do in Tucson, so it was just huge. And that was like the coolest, like weird group of people I've
Right.
partied with ever. It was just fun. Music was
Santana.
good. Santana. It wasn't really anything I was into at the time, but as someone's like, "Want to go to the concert?" I'm like, "Sure." It's cool. Older people. I remember this guy who was like in overalls, just overalls. He's like a big guy and like long, like he looked like Hulk Hogan. Me and my sister were there, and he's like, hands us a joint. We didn't really know what to do with it, and he's like, "Rock and roll, cool. These people are really nice."
They're sharing their drugs.
Yeah, like and we didn't
Like
even
that.
ask. He was just like,
It's like
"Here
a
you go."
community.
Yeah, like
It's like Source Family.
That's
Just like
what
the Source
made me
Family.
think of that.
I'm telling you.
Like imagining this
Kiss my toes.
huge
I would
guy
love
with
to
this
start a
long
cult.
blonde hair,
That's
You
my-
would?
Oh, I'd love
and
to
just
start a
overalls
cult.
with nothing.
What would
under.
your main front be? What would you?
Yeah, what would your
If you're colting, what are you colting for?
Well, I was saying it last night. Is that my goal is to be headlining FEMA camps you know what FEMA camps are, right?
I know what FEMA is.
FEMA.
I didn't know they had like summer camp.
No, they have camps where they're gonna like intern
like
people.
KOAs?
No, like when there's gonna be like a either some sort of natural disaster, like the new ones. Now I'm watching these conspiracy theories videos that they're getting us ready for like an alien something, right? Where they're
Because
gonna.
it's
That's how
happened
the
so
one
many
world.
times before.
The one world government
close.
is going to, because we're all going to have to unite to fight this common enemy, which is these aliens that are coming. But they're really,
We can't even figure out how to get to another planet, and we think we can fight off people that know how to get to ours.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We're screwed. That's why we're screwed. And we'll be in these FEMA camps, and they're just going to control us. And like you were talking about the tracking thing, like
Yeah.
the other thing they want to do is like this RFID chip, like they're putting those already, like you can track people. Like,
Got one in my dog.
yeah, so it's like,
It runs away all the time.
yeah, so it'd be like, but they're doing that now for people, so that you can be like, oh my god, if someone kidnaps my kid, I'll be able to track my kid.
Yeah.
But
That's
really,
cool.
they say eventually what they want to do is get that where like your money, it's gonna be like your
Oh,
money
like
would
the
be on the
Timberlake
chip.
movie.
Yeah, like it would all be
that
in the
was
chip.
good.
Out
Out
of
of
Time.
I like
Or-
that
yeah.
one. They go,
That's good. Yeah, that's a good flick,
Dude,
Even though Timberlake,
scary.
but like that's what they want to do, and then, but that's if you start resisting the government or you are a troublemaker, they can just turn off your switch, and then you don't have any money or anything. You know
so
what I
it's
mean? Like
house
the chip.
arrest.
Yeah, so it's just like
People would
yeah.
They
kill
would
you
never,
all day.
ever, ever,
Chop
ever.
off your arm
Oh,
and
yeah.
take the money.
But let me
Yeah.
tell you, they would never want to turn your money off.
But if you're like a rabble rouser
They keep it.
who's anti-government, they're just going to go like, nope, you're out of the system. You
But
can't.
you can still cause trouble without money.
That's true, but like they want people to. I think it's harder to get by in life without.
It's harder to get places.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. When they
Less
talk about, like,
guys
the-
would be getting laid
This
because the
is
girls
so
would be like,
true.
"You don't have as much
Like,
money
baby,
as you
Baby,
say."
why don't you
Yeah.
buy me a drink? I'm turned off. Sorry.
that whole
Sorry.
concept of that in time was a good flick because it's like the idea that
Out of time?
was
Yeah.
it out of time or in
Yeah,
time,
no,
I
out
like
of
how they all
time.
stay the same age forever.
Yeah.
That was good for me. I could do that.
and then
And
I
how
liked-
much money you have is based on how much time you have to
Yeah.
live,
Yeah,
and you just keep earning time to
you're
live.
just earning like enough. But how about Timberlake was only making enough money so that he could have to go back to work the next day?
So
Yeah.
he's literally paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, he's literally day to day. Like
Crazy.
that's I know
And
because
they
that's
had
like
it set so he never will get better.
yeah, and that's like
life
what
would never
the
get
deal
better.
is. I mean that's really the reality of when you
God,
think
yeah,
about
but
it.
people they would kill people then too.
Like yeah,
And that's how they would take the money or take the time. So there'd be people like laying down on the street or something, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, take their time." And,
yeah.
dude, that's crazy. That's crazy talk.
love
I don't know conspiracy theories too much.
Do you have any favorites?
No, because I don't
Nothing?
really know any. I don't know.
Nothing?
I don't watch the news.
I've
I'm
heard-
so
That's good, though.
uneducated.
Let's see.
That's
I've
good
heard-
not to watch the
and
news,
Kevin
though.
and I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a really strong belief for our show. We like to keep it light, keep it fun. So we always say no politics, no religion. But I have heard you're fun to talk to because you don't seem like you're gonna
Normal or take anything seriously.
right.
True.
Right. We don't take anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have heard 9/11 is a conspiracy. Like,
Oh yeah.
see.
Oh yeah, look at how positive.
And
oh yeah.
and then the other one was that kindergarten school that got shot up.
Oh, Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
that
kind of
one's
all
interesting.
staged and acted. And I read up a little bit on it, and it was like, I feel like if I talk about this, I'm gonna get shot in the parking lot. But the bus driver that took all the kids, he's an actor. All these
Right.
people, you look
They're all
up their
actors,
names,
yeah.
they're all actors.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of stuff about that one that didn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, they're called crisis actors supposedly,
Right.
and there's one. Even there's a famous clip of a Boston bombing. A woman is interviewed at the scene of the marathon, and then like the next day she's being interviewed somewhere else.
At the White House or whatever.
At another like thing for when the guy was
okay.
in the boat, and they're like, okay,
Wait,
this
that's the same
lady's
person.
yeah, it's like but she had her hair look different. It was like
Yeah.
a different thing. But yeah, the famous one of the Sandy Hook
It was the little girl and the family.
and the guy's got the
thing.
press conference,
Yes.
and he sits there like it's the dad of the girl who died, and he's just like,
Oh my God.
just kind of looking around, like laughing,
Just
and then he just
chilling.
like all of a sudden he just like
Lights, camera, action.
gets ready to like look sad, and you go like, what the hell just happened
You
there?
can watch it all.
It's pretty bizarre. And then suppose I read a thing too where like all these houses like near that school, where all these people like they got their houses paid for,
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 years before that, like everyone's mortgage was paid
One of
off
the
and everything.
kids that they
Yeah,
said
it's
All
pretty-
of
that
them?
died
A bunch of them,
in the
yeah.
accident, or one of the little girls that the kindergarten that said she was shot. Then they showed her getting interviewed by by President Obama,
Yeah.
and it was like a few days later.
Yeah,
but they
that she
screwed
was-
up.
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
It's crazy.
What?
You can see it. You can see it all. It's like this little kid died, and then it's like, well, how?
Well, supposedly
They
like
get
that
this interview
day,
done.
they were doing another drill, like a school shooting drill at another place nearby there, and that's like all those ones, like 9/11. There were so many like drills going on that day, and they had a London bombing in 2007. That was
I remember that.
same day. They were doing a bunch
shit,
of
I didn't
drills.
know
yeah,
that,
like.
But I remember that.
But it's
bombing.
one of those things like, how
This
the
is
hell?
not a drill.
And then even the Boston bombing, look at the Boston bombing, they had bomb sniffing dogs at the beginning of that race where they never had those before. And it's just, you go, wait a second. That's a hell of a coincidence on all this stuff.
Well, and then with the 9/11, they have reporters there before it happened.
Right.
And it's like now there's all this footage that's coming out of all these reporters that are there before anything happens.
Well, the thing with 9/11 is the thing that I've watched a lot. I mean, I've really studied this a lot. And the thing that is weird about 9/11 is like the Pentagon, they only show that one little
Clip.
Clip.
It's like mocking
surveillance video. And there's like, you're telling me there's no other surveillance cameras anywhere else that picked up a plane hitting that building.
Pentagon.
All we have is a little
It's a
clip.
5-point building.
And there's never been another. And then supposedly, like those offices that were hit were these guys who were investigating all the, like just total, like the day before Rumsfeld had come out and said that there were like $3 billion missing in government funds for like defense spending, just like
And
something
those
crazy
were the
like
offices?
that. Yeah, that was like the day before 9/11.
And even more so, they're saying we did it. The United States was responsible for 9/11.
Well, I think I've seen ones where they say that it was Israel that they blame is like that the
I
Mossad or
don't
whatever.
believe any of it.
And it was like, yeah, there's so many
Look,
different
I'm
theories on it,
Jewish.
but
Nothing was brought up at synagogue. We're cleared.
my theory is like they always say like what's the, believe the conspiracy, and I go, oh yeah, that like those 19 guys were able to pick the perfect day to do that, and like the day when they were having all these drills were like, how could you figure
Right.
out which ones were what? Because the fact that they didn't scramble any of those jets to shoot them, because I guess like the 3 years before that, something like that happened like 19 different times, and all those 19 different times that they were able to do it perfectly, and then that day everyone it just was a complete like. The theory is you either think that the government is completely incompetent. I mean, that's essentially what they want you to believe. It's like, hey, we suck, but give us more money because we're going to protect you next time. But like, really, we didn't know what the hell we were doing that day. And it's like, why would we give you more money if you've proven? Like, I don't even trust the government as far as like when they did the
Direct deposit.
no. Like everyone goes like, if it was a real conspiracy, like somebody would have talked by now. People always say it. Somebody would have talked. But the thing is, when you're doing something like this, you don't know what everybody else is doing. You just do your thing.
Yeah,
And
like
you don't know how.
24.
Yeah,
That's what I related all to because that's what I watched.
24.
Yeah. But when they go question, like, that's all I know. They didn't tell me anything else. They said, this is your job. That's it.
Yeah.
So you do it. It's a piece of a puzzle.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Don't
do your
show the
job.
whole
Somebody else
puzzle.
does their job. You do your job. You don't know anything else.
Yeah.
But then when everybody does that job, then the bad thing happens.
Have you been watching that documentary of the guy who killed, what's his name, Bin Laden?
No.
Oh, it's good.
The SEAL Team
SEAL
6
team, yeah.
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, those
That
guys are all
guy's
dead now.
talking, and he's
They
not
are?
supposed to be
Yeah, yeah.
talking.
Most
The
of those
SEALs?
guys in SEAL Team 6 are all
What?
dead. Yeah, the helicopter crash.
And so is that
Yeah.
why this guy's talking
It's
now?
a really
'Cause
shady.
He's telling his story,
yeah.
and he's not supposed to be telling his story.
The
This
parents
is the
that-
most serious we've ever been on the show.
I know.
So keep it light. No, I don't care because this is so interesting to me. This is my first
yeah,
time
most of the
hearing a
guys
lot
that
of
were
this.
SEAL Team 6 are all dead now.
Why?
Well, they had this really sketchy thing that they did in Afghanistan. They put them in a helicopter that was like from the Vietnam era helicopter.
Makes sense.
Went into this thing. They were complete. It was a complete ambush. And
For Bin Laden?
no, this was after.
Because
the
I
Bin
remember the
Laden.
helicopter crashed in the movie.
Oh,
right?
the thing.
Like when one of them did.
Well, I've seen things now that said like Bin Laden was dead 10 years before that actually happened, and that's
I've
why
heard
they're
that,
saying that
too.
these guys, the SEAL Team 6, are like these guys. They pretty much just like made these guys.
And why would they
martyrs.
dump his body in the ocean?
And the
You can't
same
prove it?
guy who
Yeah.
shot Bin Laden is the same guy who was on the Captain Phillips rescue team. You know that movie with Tom Hanks? Captain
Yeah,
Phillips?
yeah.
He was on that team too. So now
Okay, hold on. So keep
he's
going
just
with
a big
this.
celebrity.
So I think those, and then after that, that's when these guys. If you go, it's on YouTube. Like, and the guy's parents, like one guy's dad, just like my son didn't die. Like they sent him in and do this. Oh, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's like you watch it and you go. I mean, if you wanted to bump those guys off, I mean, I think it was like 18 guys died in a helicopter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blackhawk. Come over and watch. I'll show you all the shit on my TV
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
if you
It's
want.
a nice TV.
I know.
It's got YouTube on it.
That's why everyone goes like, "Why?" I'm like so serious. I'm like, if you knew the
Okay.
crap that I knew, I mean,
But so
But if you talk about it to people,
Conspiracy
they're like,
theories-
you're crazy.
Yeah,
they're
Just keep to
they're
myself.
conspiracy theories because one, they're not proven to be true or false, I guess. But also that there is another like side to the stories, right?
Right.
So we can look at it one way, but then you can also look at it completely other
well,
way.
you can look at it like, well, everyone's main, like the reason it's a conspiracy is they're saying that's not what the common belief is. But who tells us the common belief? It's the government or it's a news media, which is owned by a huge corporation. Now we're down to like 6 companies that own all the media. So if you're saying, well, I saw it on the news and that's not what they said on the news, and it's like, well, why are you believing the news?
Right.
Yeah, I never believed the news
I don't
company.
either.
Yeah, that's why
You
I
know
say
what?
like you don't watch the news. That's
When
good.
they did the
I'm telling you,
first
never turn the money off.
the first war in Iraq or whatever, like Desert Storm,
Desert Storm.
Yeah.
and I'd sit there and watch it every night with my parents, like at dinner, and I'm like, why would they be telling us accurate information? Because wouldn't Iraqis watch and be like, oh shit, I think they're invading later tonight.
Yeah.
It was on Channel 12 News in Arizona. So yeah, that's our intel. They told everybody else there. So I'm like, dude, they can't be telling us the truth.
Yeah.
Then as I got older, friends of mine were in the military, and some were very important military people, and they're like, dude, they don't tell you shit. You know nothing.
Right.
You could watch the news, and the military feeds them stories, and it is so inaccurate.
Right.
And that's the reason why. They're not going to tip off anything that
Yeah.
they're doing. So,
It'd be dangerous to tell people what
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
really doing.
yeah.
So people just come up with their own theories and conspiracy theories.
I guess.
But, there was a couple right away. The Sandy Hook thing to me just didn't make sense, and I was like,
Right.
"Wow, what perfect timing!" It was all timing, and then it's like it was so strange how they reported this to death one day, and then the next day it was gone.
Yeah.
It was never talked about. Okay, a classroom full of kindergartners is gone
Right.
supposedly, and now we're not talking about
Yeah.
it because what was it? Right on the heels of passing the gun laws or that gun bill they were
Yeah.
trying to push forward.
Well, even
so
like
what do you
the-
do when you want to get rid of want to push that gun bill forward? Shoot up a class of kindergartners.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Jesus.
Well, even
and
like
then I had a kindergartner, so it should have really hit home, but
I have a
wasn't
kindergartner,
buying it.
too.
I didn't buy it.
I have him bring a gun to school, though.
Yeah, just in case.
Wait a second. That's a joke.
well, that was the thing on
It is.
9.
It
Yeah,
is.
that's the thing with 9/11. Like when I saw when 9/11 happened, I remember just watching it, going like, that ain't real. Like that's not those
always
buildings the way they collapse. I go, that shouldn't be how the
coincidence.
building collapsed. I don't think those buildings
don't know.
collapse like that.
Every major thing I feel like is timing with something else going on. It's like distract you here so you can do this.
That's the
over
false
here.
flag operation.
Yeah, it's my theory.
Well, the Boston bombing is a good one too because they have
What's
all
wrong
these.
with that one? Why can't one of these be real?
Don't worry, Kev. You don't run. You're safe. You will never be in danger from
I
a
did the
marathon
P.F.
running.
Chang's half marathon
did?
once.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you have any interest in ever doing it again?
Fuck no. I tore something in the back of my knee the third
He
mile.
was handing out water.
So 10 more miles, I just limped the whole
He
way
was
there.
handing out water
I've never
at the
done a
Roger
Dude, I was one of the
Marathon.
last people to finish in the entire thing.
I did the Pat
It was
Tillman
awful.
one.
Yeah, it took me like 6 hours.
How long ago did you do it?
Fuck, man. How long ago was that? Probably like 07 maybe?
Oh wow.
Wow.
7 years ago or
I'm
so?
thinking about maybe doing one of those.
I've always, it's a
I don't
goal.
know.
The
It's like
the
cool,
half
I did it.
one for me is the goal. I know a full one would just kill me.
Yeah, I have no interest in.
Yeah, man, third mile just pulled
a
in the
goal,
back of my
Brian.
knee, and I felt it. And then as I just kept going, it got tighter and tighter and tighter,
If
and I
anybody
could barely
listening
walk.
wants to run that with me, let me know. I need someone to run it. I can't do it alone.
We do the foundation, Team Casey, the foundation that we do. That's
Okay.
what we do it for every year.
All right, well, look me up.
So you'll see people wearing like Team Casey shirts. If you want to do
Oh,
it, you
yeah,
can
you
do it
told
through
me.
them. Yeah, it's real cool. The money goes straight to the foundation, which is what the foundation does is it buys like toys and stuff for kids at the hospitals in like here, St. Jude's and Phoenix Children's, and then in Tucson also. And so it just makes it more homely for the kids that have to be there because that's where Casey was at. So that's what they do. But it's a great foundation. Which, by the way, the show that we're doing was supposed to be in January. I think it's getting pushed back to September. So
Okay.
that's why there's been no updates. But enough about all this conspiracy shit, guys. Although, wait, the Boston bombing you said
Oh,
was
yeah,
one?
what's that one?
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't get away from it. I keep trying.
they have these like Blackwater guys that they saw around different parts.
Is that what they're calling black guys now?
No, Blackwater is like these like kind of
Ferguson.
mercenary
Is that like their
guys,
sweat?
like mercenary army dudes, and then they were saying, I mean, look at it. I mean, they killed those two guys. Why wouldn't they, try to capture them? The guy was hiding in a boat, and they just shot up that boat like crazy. And it's like, what, they couldn't have captured him. They couldn't.
To
They,
prove that
they
they
couldn't have
caught
waited
him?
a little while. Yeah, to like interview him and like interrogate him and stuff. And I think the one guy still alive. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah,
true. I remember that. The guy in the boat. The guy in the backyard.
guy in the backyard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but they say that was just a test to see if people would allow pretty much martial law. That's what happened because they just shut down a whole city. And they went.
did,
The
dude.
cops
That
went
was
door to door,
crazy.
going into houses, and people let them do it. And they go, "Okay, well, it's a good test run to see if
God,
people
that
will let
was
us do
insane.
that."
I remember that
Yeah.
shit, man. Like the whole city was after these two guys.
I know that's pretty hardcore.
Wow.
I mean, that's like, it's kind of excessive,
It's really awesome.
but it's
They
kind
found
of.
together to get them.
But then you look at all the stuff now with Ferguson and all the other, and you
Well,
see
Jesus Christ,
like
that's
nobody
getting
was
out of control.
freaking out when they had all the military stuff in Boston. Like, remember they had the same stuff then, and people were like, "Oh yeah, we need that stuff."
Yeah.
But like, there's
Why
really
now
no
is it
reason.
starting to get out of control? Because now, I mean, yeah, the Ferguson thing happens. Look, it happened in Florida with Trayvon Martin. Then it happens in Ferguson. But now it's like every day a new video is getting posted of a cop beating the shit out of somebody.
Because people have phones now.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the same stuff was going on before, but people just didn't have a way to film it.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. All right, we gotta stop. We gotta move on.
Okay.
I want to get into your private investigator stuff
Okay,
because it's kind of on topic with conspiracies and people doing bad things.
that's probably why I got into the conspiracies.
Why? First of all, how did you get into it? Was this something you wanted to do?
I had a criminal justice degree in college and never wanted to be a cop, so I was like, "What can I do?" I was going to go to law school, and then I worked for a repo company out here. The first job I had when I moved out here was if someone was behind on their car loan, I would go knock on their door and be like, "Hey, you owe a check." And if they didn't have a check for me, then that's when the guy would take their car.
Oh shit!
So yeah, it was a little dangerous. That wasn't
You
the
Yeah.
didn't do like the game
Dude,
quiz
did people
first,
fight
though?
you?
No, I auditioned for that
Oh
reality
my
show.
God,
Yeah,
that was the best. I felt bad though. I didn't want to support it, but I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
Remember the repost show, and they'd get
I never
like
watched it.
they'd give you trivia questions like shit about like Star Wars and stuff, and if you answered them right, they'd pay off your loan.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you got them wrong, they'd tow your car.
Tow your car,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
were
No.
already
I
behind.
auditioned for that. It was based
That
out
was
of
the
here. Yeah.
best show.
Whoa.
We got to
Yeah.
bring that
That
back.
sounds so sad.
It was.
It was
sad.
crazy. Yeah, it was
But
crazy.
then again, like you could get your car paid off.
Yeah, so at least you're getting that option.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah, either look, we're here to take it.
Yeah.
but here's a way out.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I
And
thought
then
it was
you
cool.
wouldn't just do it to be mean. Like, these people were very
It's the
far
hardest
behind.
questions in the world.
Yeah.
It's like some stranger's like, what's my grandma's maiden name?
Yeah.
How do I know that? I don't know.
They were more like Star Wars trivia and like more pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff everybody really
Did you have a chance to look up the answer, or you just had to know it?
You just had a
you
note
had
right
to
there.
know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
wow.
it was stuff everybody had a chance to know, like Cash Cab.
Did you ever... Cash Cab was cool.
I liked it.
Did you ever get in a fight with these people?
No, I had a few people like I had one guy like really get angry at me, and I was just like, dude, it's not. Hey, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just
Have
here.
your size in your favor.
And I would just be like, I'd hand him the phone, and I'd be like, here's the guy from Chrysler.
Oh,
He wants to
shit.
talk to you. You've been ducking him for 3 weeks, and
Wow.
we're looking for. Yeah, it was pretty. So I did that, and then got the job as a private investigator right after that. So that was pretty sweet.
What are like cool things that you have to do for a private investigator? I'm so excited. Are you like Magnum?
No, I didn't have.
Did
I
you
was.
go to
Do
Hawaii
you
and
have
make a black
listening
friend?
devices?
I had a little hidden camera that I had that was. I was talking about it last night with a guy where I had it was in a fanny pack. 'Cause this is like.
All
I
right,
stopped doing
nerd.
it. Yeah, I stopped doing it full time like in 2010. So like the really good stuff that's come out now, I wasn't using. I was
You're
using
like
like really
James
basic.
Bond, dude.
I was using basic stuff, like. So I'd put the camcorder in this fanny pack and I'd film because the little pinhole camera was like at the front. I'd go to the gym and I'd just set it down on a bench and I'd just film whatever was going on. Like I followed a cop who I follow a lot of cops.
But you
Yeah?
got a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
going on at a gym.
And that,
Lots
yeah,
of
because it was
affairs.
Yeah.
well, that was workers' compensation fraud, stuff like that. So people that weren't supposed to be hurt, or that were hurt,
go.
and then they'd be at the gym working out and stuff, and
And cheating on their wife at the same
yeah,
time.
and then
Also, look at what else we found.
right,
Not only are you feeling fine to work out, you're feeling fine enough to have sex with 3 different women.
right. Let me think. Then I had most of the time. One time I followed a guy into Mexico. That was fun.
Cool.
We did a weekend. That was right after 9/11. I took a tour. He did a like a tourist group, whatever, like a travel group.
Like the illegal ones where they hop over the fence?
Uh,
Yeah, it's a tour into the country.
No, it was myself. So I actually went as one of the people on the trip. Like the insurance company paid for the trip. It was like a $600 trip. So I went down there, hung out for the weekend in this little pottery village in Mexico,
Oh, too bad.
filming this guy.
You're going on scene. Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah,
You're
and
heading
everyone
out
was
to Puerto Vallarta.
Bravo.
everyone was like, "Why are you on this trip all by yourself?" I'm like, "I don't know. It doesn't make any sense." You're right. But I had a good one right after 9/11 too. I was telling the guy last night was I follow a lot of gay dudes too. That was my specialty was police
Gay cops.
officers, gay dudes, pilots, and golfers. Because I was clean. I had clean cut, at the
Yeah.
time. So I was like country club. I do a lot of weddings. Like if
What do
someone,
you
Wedding
PI in a
crashers.
wedding?
yeah, I was like wedding crashers. Like ruined that segment of my job because I used to go to weddings all the time where I wasn't part of the wedding and film like people that were like, because it'd be like, hey, it's like the mom of the groom or something would be injured. So they're like, hey, her son's getting, married.
So you got
that'd
to
be a good one.
videotape her
So
dancing?
I'd be filming dancing, moving around, and I got caught once. It was at the Kierland hotel at Kierland, and
Weston.
I'm at this reception, and the guy comes up and he goes, "What are you doing here?" And I was just like, "What?" He's like, "What are you doing here?" And I go, "I'm just here at the wedding."
I'm the videographer.
I go, "I'm just at the wedding, And he goes, "Nobody knows who you are, man." He goes, "We come in asking around. It's like you're just here by yourself." And I go, "No, my girl. I think she's out dancing or something." And then
It's the mother of the bride, man.
right, and then
Excuse
he's
me, man,
like,
you wanna
"On."
waltz? Just got to take this video real quick.
I goes, "We've been watching." He goes, "I've been watching for like 10 minutes. There's nobody. You're just sitting here by yourself." And I go, "What? What's the name of this wedding?" And I was like, "Oh man!" I go, "I'm hammered." I think I went back in because there was like more than one.
Okay.
There's more than one wedding going on there, and I go, "I think I'm in the
Got
wrong."
lucky.
I go, "I think I'm in the wrong wedding." Dude. And then I had another one where I was at a little league football game, and
That's creepy.
Creeper.
Yeah. They had me looking
Right.
for a pedophile.
So I was following this kid's mom was injured, so I was filming her. So like the game's going on, like to the left, and she was like over to the right. So I'm like, I'm pretending like I'm filming the game, but then I'm also like filming her. But like I would like turn the camera off. So I'm like looking like I'm filming the game, but I have the camera off then, and then I'd turn the camera on for her for a little bit and do all this stuff, right? And some guy came up and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And I was like, my nephew's playing.
Good call.
Right? And he goes,
Which
why?
one?
He goes, why are you
Points out his
sitting?
kid.
Yeah.
He goes, why? He goes, you're sitting here all by yourself. And I go, well, yeah. I go, can you just? I go, my sister. I go, I'm filming. It's like, why are you filming? And I go, oh, it's for my folks. They're back in the Midwest, and my sister is kind of estranged from the rest of the family, so they don't get. She doesn't, they don't get to see their grandson. So like, I'm just kind of filming this. So I go, I don't really want to,
So weird, dude.
Yeah, just
Did
like
he
total.
buy your story?
Yeah, total BS. He goes, oh, I totally understand. I go, oh, thanks, man. I go, just like, I mean, she's.
Hey, you want me to hold the camera? Or you
I
want
go,
me? I'll
I
hold
go.
the
She'd
camera
be
for you.
like, I go, yeah. I go, she'd be pissed. I'm even doing this. I'm like, if you could just like, not. I'll go.
So creepy.
Like just be like totally like, oh, my whole job was lying. I would just
Your
lie.
whole job was being a creeper.
My whole job was being a professional liar,
Love it.
and
Did you ever get caught?
Twice.
I got caught once when I first started. I was following a guy's wife. Way out in the outskirts.
Wasn't even
of town.
hired to do it.
No, way out in the outskirts of town, right? It was like she was injured, right? And in the report, it was like her husband's
Her
an ex.
feelings were hurt.
Her husband's an ex-Marine. He's kind of a hothead, and he's been, threatening some of the doctors and stuff like this at the point. So we knew he was kind of a jackass. And first day I follow him, they're way out in the country. So it's like, when you're out, you're the only other car out there. It's tough to follow somebody, right? So the next day. First day I follow her, didn't seem like anything was wrong. Second day I start following, and they had a white Ford F-150, which is like your basic country truck. You know what I mean? Like everyone's got a white Ford F-150, right? And they go to this grocery store, shopping, like kind of a strip mall with the Albertsons there. And I'm filming, and I set up to film, and I'm looking at this truck, waiting for him to get out of the truck. And it turned out that was the wrong Ford F-150, and I was like, oh shit, that's not them. And I'm like driving around, all of a sudden they just pull up right in front of me, like kind of like that, and
Stopped you.
stop me right in the parking lot. And the guy gets out, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're following my wife yesterday. You're following us again." And I just cracked the window like maybe 4 inches. I was like, "Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?" And he goes, "I'm gonna get your license plate, man." I go, "I'm gonna get your fucking license plate, dude. You're a psycho." Like that. I go, "I'm just going to the grocery store." So I like pull in. Got out of the car and I went in.
Gift
Went
of
into
fake
the,
buying. Like
went into the
grocery
went into the
list.
grocery store, and I just kind of kept an eye out. And then they took off, and I just ran back to my car and got the hell out of there. I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah, I was like, "Man, screw that." But,
Crazy.
With 3 cartons of eggs.
but I was the only guy. I was the only guy.
Home. It's like groceries that I put away.
Yeah, got this ice cream melting in the back. It's so stupid. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Should
I
have
was
went with
like the only
non-perishable.
guy in our office who didn't have a gun. Everybody else had a gun.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Would you have had to shoot somebody?
I
ever?
would have shot somebody.
Really?
Oh, just driving the way I had to drive and stuff, because you're chasing people. And if someone drives like an ass, if they drive 90 miles an hour in the 101, you got to drive 90 miles an hour to keep up with them. And then other times, like someone would get in between you, like on just a simple 1-lane road, and you'd be like riding their ass. And like, I had people flipping me off all the time. Like, I'm surprised no one ever took a shot at me the way I drove.
If you have your private eye license and you get pulled over for speeding, you get out of it?
No. I mean,
The
one
law
cop.
completely applies to you.
Yeah, one guy. I remember one cop was like, he goes, "You're not above the law." And I'm like, "All right." Usually people are just like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like I'd be sitting in a neighborhood, just chilling, and someone would call, and the cops would come out, and I go, "Yeah, here's my ID and everything." And they go, "Okay."
Wow.
I was just like, "Don't worry about it." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man."
So funny.
They go, "How is it?" They go, "How is that? How you like doing it?" I'm like, "Yeah, pretty good." I'd be sitting there, with shorts on, flip flops, and
Yeah,
read
you
the-
got to look like the
I just-
people.
I'd be reading the paper.
Do people still read
Yeah.
the paper now? That's probably a blown cover. We just look at your phone now.
Yeah, I was just-
Everyone's-
yeah.
That'd be even easier now.
But I would just sit
People
and
are
read the
anyways.
paper and read. I had like subscribed to like 20 different magazines at the time. And
Well,
it
you
was,
would
yeah.
be so successful now because people wouldn't even see you driving. They're on their phone while
Yeah.
they're driving. People are not looking up anymore.
Yeah.
You would do
Well, I
so
was like,
well.
that's why I was thinking about going back to doing it, because now with smartphones, like I would just be able to, because the thing I pretty much just listen to Howard Stern every day for 6 hours. That's why it was the longest I ever stayed at one
That's
job.
why I did it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did. I go
Loved
like
Howard
I get to
Stern.
listen to Howard Stern uninterrupted. Nobody else is in the car with me. I just get to sit and listen to the whole show, and I get paid while I'm doing it. So it was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
And then when he switched to Sirius, I was like, I got Sirius obviously, and then I was like, and then towards the end, it was getting less and less, and I was getting more and more annoyed. And I started like just being really like shady about like saying I was doing stuff and wasn't doing stuff, and I was like, I better quit. for a while. But I mean, I still have a good relationship with my company that I worked for. So
Go
I mean, I still
back.
have my
That
license.
Sounds like the coolest job.
What's
Yeah.
the coolest story? Like, I don't know.
Who were you the happiest to bust? Who were you just like, this guy
a good
got
question.
it coming?
The one, this lady cop was the best because her husband was also a cop, but they were like cops in Scottsdale. And I got scared because I was living in Scottsdale. I'm like, this is not a good idea to be. I go, give me a cop that is a cop way on the other side of town. Like, I don't need to be coming home at 2 a.m. and waiting, for some jackass to be threatening me. But one of my favorite ones was a guy named Smokey. He was a Vietnam War vet. His name was Smokey, and he had a junkyard in Bullhead City, Arizona. that he ran, and this will tell you what. This will tell you how old this was. This was like '98, and I remember I rode up to his house on rollerblades.
Still had that fanny pack
Because
on.
he had a
He's
what do
gotta
you call it?
complete the outfit.
Yeah,
You
he had a
wanna look
boat, just like
suspicious.
Fletch, like Fletch. I mean, like
Yeah,
Fletch,
dude.
rollerblading up, and yeah, he had a boat
You
for sale.
rollerbladed from Scottsdale to Bullhead City.
The Greenbelt goes that far?
But that was the best. Was like I would have to like kind of know about stuff. Like he had a boat for sale. I never knew anything about boats, so I was like, yeah, man, I was just kind of checking out your boat. And I would when I had to talk to him to get information out of anybody, I would never say I was a private investigator because then people won't tell you anything.
Yeah.
So my technique was I always just play dumb, where I'd be like, I'd come up to you, I'd be like, hey, I don't know if my wife talked to you or if I have the right house. She said it was right here near the corner, but maybe it was in that house next door. I'm like, do you guys have like a landscape business or something? Like I'd have like a little. It'd be like, yeah. It's like, yeah. Did she talk to you then? It's like, no, I didn't talk to anybody. I'm like, man, maybe I got the information wrong. And I'm like, oh, but you do that kind of stuff? Like this is on my honey-do list today. I was supposed to do because I had a wedding ring, that I'd put on and stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, I just live a street
Did you
over.
use a different name?
Oh yeah, I'd always use a different name. And I'd be like,
Every time?
Yeah, what I would do is I would park, like not on the street. I'd park like a block around and walk around, and then I'd always look at an address. Like say it was like 8029, 8034. Like I'd always find a street number address that wasn't there. So if the guy goes, where do you live? Then I'd be like, oh, 8028. Or then the guy would go over there, and there's no 8028. And he's like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's on
What
the
hell?
other street.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like where you had me going today.
Yeah, exactly.
Monte Rosa. It's Monte Rosa.
That's Glen Rosa. But yeah, my whole job was just lying. I got really, I was pretty good at lying. Wow. But I had people invite me into their houses. Like I'd knock on the door and they'd be like,
I used
come
to
on
live
in.
here.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, come on in. I'm like, no, you can't.
The last person I said I used to live here, they go, come on in. Like they didn't even.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. I go, I used to live here. It was
Weird.
the story I told you about the dog. I found this dog on the road.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get it off the road because it could get hit. And I followed it back to this house. I was like, hey, your dog got out. I'm like, oh, by the way, I used to live here. They go, come on in. Like, who am I?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I had like old people do it. And I'm like, you shouldn't let people in. And they go, well, you seem safe. And I'm like, no. I go,
You seem safe.
well, back in the clean cut days,
Doesn't
days,
matter. You're still a guy that's like 6'5".
I know.
Yeah.
And there's like some old lady, be like,
You seem safe.
But I
and
had,
while you're over here, can you reach?
change this light bulb?
the
Yeah.
light
You
bulb.
seem-
I had another one where I followed a lady all the way from San Fran to Tahoe.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, they caught on to me following them because they went hiking right outside of Tahoe, and this was like right after 9/11 too. And then they called the cops, and like 3 cops like had their guns drawn on me and stuff. That was pretty
shit.
serious. And I was like, going, I take it someone knows. And it's like, yeah. And I go, how long? She goes, yeah. This guy said you've been following him since you got in town here, and I'm like. Actually, I've been following him since San Francisco, so that's pretty good. I go, yeah, that's pretty good. The guy goes, yeah, it is pretty good. Then I got annihilated that weekend because I was over in Tahoe and I couldn't work the rest of the weekend.
If
So
you
I
get
was
pulled over and you go, I'm a private investigator. They go, oh, okay. Just
I
do
could just
a better job.
Yeah, they were just like,
They give
So
you-
when you get made, case is over,
case is over. Yeah,
and you're just screwed.
yeah,
Right?
Then you're done for the day, or you lose somebody, you're done for the day, man. Unless you can figure out, like when I would be in
Could
a.
you go get a different car and get a rental car and like? pursue it away?
I would do that sometimes. Like if I was working out of state, I would just go get a rental car. But like other times, it's just like you're just done. We'd have information, and I'd get out there usually like at 6 a.m. You get out there at 6 a.m. At like 10, you're sitting around going like, "Oh shit, there's nobody here." So the next day, you're like,
man.
"I better get out there real early." Then some days you'd get out there like the next day at like 4 a.m. And then the person wouldn't leave until like 5:55, and you're like, I missed him by 5 fucking minutes the day before. He'd be so pissed, you know. And then like, oh, I see. But people do like the same thing every day, you know. I mean, that's the kind of thing that so you don't even realize that everyone has a kind of a pattern. But like when I would lose somebody, like if I was working in Kingman or Havasu or something, and I'd lose somebody, I'd always just go to Walmart.
and
like,
find them
and
there.
find them, yeah, find them there
That's like the
every time.
central
Yeah, it's like
of the
that's
city.
one thing. It'd be like I'm just gonna go to Walmart.
Wow,
And they find them
this
all
is
the time.
so
Yeah,
interesting to me.
Yeah,
I wonder if there's one following me right now.
But that's the best. People always go like, "Do you always check to see if someone's following you?" And I go, "I never do," and I probably should have over all those years. Like I always thought that someone would investigate me. Like they would hire me to investigate somebody and then investigate me to see if I was actually investigating that person. I had that one for a while.
like a double agent.
Yeah. Well, it was
Wow.
good. It was. I didn't do a lot of the cheating spouses stuff. I didn't do much of that because that's depressing. The couple times I did do
No
it,
shit, huh?
oh, people start crying and stuff. That's the worst.
That
If you
sucks.
suspect it, I mean,
Yeah. Well, though it's bad too, is that someone will always like, I should have someone follow you, and then they have someone hire, and it's really hard to follow somebody if that person thinks they might be followed, because then it's impossible. Like, well, I had one of the coolest ones I had was we were investigating a guy who used to play in the NBA.
Cool, dude.
He was
Steve
cheating.
Nash.
He was cheating on his wife. Close, but I can't say
Okay.
who. But
yeah, I think my husband in the NBA is cheating on me. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, yeah.
Just forked up. It's just
well, this
maybe
was like we were
'cause you're
following
right.
him for something else, but yeah, then it turned out he was driving really suspicious. We were trying to figure out what's going on. And it's like, oh, he's cheating on his wife. Okay, he's not.
Weird.
He's trying to see if anyone's following him. But yeah, he just was in the guy that I investigated was in the news recently.
Yeah?
you could probably do some. If you Google that, you could probably figure out who I'm talking about. Retired player.
Whoa, cool, dude.
Yeah.
It was Steve Nash. Well, his just a tidbit about Steve Nash. I'm sure he did cheat on his wife, but she cheated on him too, like with Jason Richardson. That's
Oh,
why he
yeah.
got traded
Yeah,
from the Suns.
that's a great story.
Yeah, that the baby
know
came
that.
out and the baby was a tint of shade.
Oh, he wasn't Steve Nash's baby.
No.
Oh, darn it.
It was Jason Richardson's, and then they decided to get divorced, and yeah, he got traded like 2 days later.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah. Yeah, and you never saw a picture. Like, he always would post pictures of his daughters. Never
But
post a
never his
picture of his son.
son.
Yeah. And then so his daughters went to the same daycare that my son went to. And when my son was 1 year old.
Yeah.
And so his daughters would be in there all the time. The son never. And the son was born like right around that time. So like he would start bringing the son, and they never did. Never brought the son. His daughters were fucking assholes, though. They're the worst kids in the world. Just
old
real
is-
bitchy. At that time, man, I don't know. I'm pretty bad with age, but like probably, I don't know, 5, 6,
They're
something like
bitch-
that.
bitchy 5-year-olds?
big time.
Oh,
Yeah,
they start
check this
young,
out.
Trust me.
It was the summer. The summer had just started, and one of the girls that worked in there, like I was picking my son up, and the girl says to the Nash's daughters, "So what are you guys doing for the summer?" And they're like, "I mean, like go on vacations to New York and like Hawaii and stuff." And they're like, "Where do you? Oh, that's cool. Where are you gonna stay?" Like, at our house.
Oh,
Like, we have houses everywhere.
everywhere.
I was like, "Oh, that's cool, Braden. We're gonna get the hell out of here."
Oh,
You
well,
don't
I
get
had
to hang
go
out with them.
this- Okay, you'll appreciate this. I went to a school function the other day. There was like food trucks and shit. It was cool, but it was for like whatever fundraising. Kurt Warner was there. My husband's like, "Fuck, I don't want to be here." He goes, "Oh, there's Kurt Warner," so it's not terrible. So he went to go get food with the kids, and he's like, all of a sudden, like the kids are playing with their friends, and he's sitting on the bench by himself. He's texting me. He's like, "Get here, get here." I'm like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I can't be at a school function just sitting here being a dude by myself. I look like a creeper."
True.
Like, you're a dad at a school function. Like, he just assumes because he's by himself.
And
at
that he
school
doesn't wear
function.
pants.
Right.
That's
It's a dead
besides
giveaway.
the point. But he was like, "Don't leave me alone. People think I'm weird if I'm at school without kids next to me."
Have you had a weird run-in with a celebrity?
Maybe. I don't think so.
No?
I met Vin Diesel one time, and he was so bizarre. A friend of mine's friends with him, so he's like, I went to a birthday party, and he was there with his kids, and my kids were there, and he's like, "Oh, this is my friend Vin. Nice to meet you." And he puts on this like full-blown like character act, like starts, "Oh, Nancy, ha ha ha," like this whole like dance, and he's doing shit.
Vin Diesel?
Yeah, I was like, I expected just like a really raspy voice, like "Nice to meet you too." But like puts on this whole show, and he was like, "Oh, Nancy from Scottsdale, it's so nice to meet you," and singing and dancing like a fool. I could not believe it. But that's the only celebrity I've ever really
Wow,
met.
that is weird. I would
I
not.
thought it was bizarre. I thought he would just give me like
Vin
a
Diesel would be
Riddick,
like a
what's up?
serious dude, maybe.
That's what I thought. Like just hey, what's up?
Like
it
a
was
song
real,
and dance man.
Riddick voice. But really, I got this theatrical version of
Oh,
this
jeez.
person.
This
Bad
theatrical
act.
version of Vin Diesel
Singing, dancing.
on Broadway.
Yeah. But he looked like him. He had like the wife beater and everything. Like, you know.
What about you, Mike? Any weird run-ins?
I've never really met anybody super famous, I don't think. I'm trying to think of... Well, one guy, Hannibal Buress, I had a bad situation with Hannibal Buress.
Did you?
Yeah. I didn't realize he was as big as he... I don't know. It's probably just created in my head that was bad. You know, like, I mean, like, I didn't realize he was as big a deal as he was, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't... I was just kind of acting real casual, like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Like
And
that.
he was a dick?
He was very quiet and kind of moody. But since then, I've talked to other guys that know him. They're like, yeah, he's just a quiet dude.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, maybe I just over... But I was just like, I was despondent. I was just like, oh, fuck that up, man. I'm
Do
like...
you have any? Did something happen recently?
No. Nothing happened. No. Like, I had you remember Tony Delk? Played in the NBA for a while.
Tony Delk went to Kentucky. I
Kentucky,
believe.
yeah. So I was friends with him for a while. And the Suns played a game, and then afterwards... Like, we were supposed to meet up, and he had a couple guys with him, whatever. And then I called a couple of my friends, and I'm like, well, if we're going to meet up, I don't want to go to this place alone and then just have to sit and wait. That's pretty embarrassing. So a couple of my friends come with me, and we get to the bar. It was more like a club, which I hate to begin with. But we get there first. Dude, nothing. Like, nobody pays any mind to us whatsoever, and nor should they have, right? Then Tony shows up, and he walks in, and people start, like, looking already, like, first of all, black guy, pretty fit. Now, he's not super tall. He's like 6'3", but, you know.
He's not you.
But then he's got other big black guys with him. So it's
Right,
like, oh,
right.
shit, who is that? And then they notice it's him, Tony Ducks. People knew who he was.
So was he
when
wearing
was
his
in the league.
jersey? That always
Yeah.
helps.
He was still in uniform. And he comes right up to me. He's like, what's up, man? Say hi. And then he's like, we got a spot. You know, if you have, I said, thank God. As we're walking, dude, more people girls could not have come up to me that didn't pay any attention before.
Right.
Come up to me now. They're like, hey, how are you? Like, what's going on? You here with Tony? Like, what are you doing?
Oh, my
It's like,
God.
dude, and that was my first experience of like, all right, now I'm with somebody that people kind of know, and that's
Right.
all you need to do as a guy
be with
around
that
these
person.
gold digging women.
Yeah.
Like, it was incredibly weird, and I never got used to it. Not that we went out a lot, but every time it was like, hey,
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with you, lady. This is creepy.
Right. They're just strictly looking for a guy with
Yeah.
cash. Yeah.
I walked in alone, nothing. Tony walks in and says hi, and then it's like, whoosh,
Yeah.
women come over.
The last time I went to a club with just girls, this guy comes up to us, he's younger, and he goes, Zac Efron's my brother. The girls I was with are like, really? Are you kidding? Like, really, girls?
Was he serious?
That was his line. He looked like him. I don't think
Ah,
Zac Efron
dude, he's
has a brother. I
lying.
looked it up.
Right.
'cause I
And he
was
doesn't have one?
No. And they're like, come on, Zac Efron's brother. I'm like, guys, we're adults. We can buy our own drinks. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't put me through this.
I gotta look it up to see if that's.
You gotta check. It
That's it.
kind of looked like him, but just like a not cute version of him. Even still, I was just like,
I'm pretty sure I got laid one night
just because.
because
That's it?
a woman thought I
End
was
story.
Tim Hudson for the A's.
Is that him?
Or no,
Dylan?
Mark Mulder. You know,
Oh, yeah, he lives out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some chick thought I was Mark Mulder. She's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, good. She's like, I haven't seen you in forever. And I'm like, yeah. And then like
You just played it.
I went
like-
to the bathroom and she started talking to my buddy and it's like he had such a good season and my buddy goes, yeah, like he had a good season.
That
Right?
was it.
And we're like, oh, what? Then trying to figure out what she was talking about, and then we put two and two together. And then like I never told her I wasn't. I just I don't want to embarrass her after a point, you know.
Never even told her. So
Just went
she
back to her.
thinks she had sex with Mark Mulder.
Yeah, she probably
That's
does.
awesome.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, she probably thinks she wasn't the smartest, but I was just like, yeah, sure.
Oh, fuck, dude. That's really funny. Yeah, I don't get mistaken for anybody fucking famous. But you would. You look back then, especially clean cut up, same
Yeah.
height, same build.
Yeah, now I could probably get I don't know what I could get now. Maybe some band I could say I'm in a band or something.
I'm Slash, man. What's up? I'm Slash.
I'm in a band. I'm in Black Crows. Or roadie for. I did that. You know what? I did that at. I was working with Ralphie May's wife, Lana Turner, down at Stand Up Live. It was and next door, Jimmy Buffett concert was going on in America West. So all these like Buffett, parrot heads or whatever, are at this bar, the hotel bar right in downtown Phoenix. And Lana Turner, Ralphie May's wife, has a guitar, right? She plays guitar. So she's got her guitar case. I go, let me carry your guitar case. Like, I'll look like I'm in the band. Right? So we're just sitting in the lobby, and all these people are there that were at the concert, and I'm just sitting there with the guitar case, and people start coming over. They're going, hey, man, how's that? I go, did you have a good time at the concert tonight? Like that?
Yes.
And I go, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Dude, that is awesome.
I was just like I was some sort of guitar tech or something. like with the guitar right there. I'm like, that's Jimmy's guitar.
Dude, you know who does that a lot? Like, does acts of stuff with people that they're not, is my dad. He does it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
All the time. This one time, man, I was a kid, and my uncle's a bigger dude. My uncle does it too. So we went to like a family dinner. Just everybody went out to dinner. And we sit down, and I don't know how it got brought up, but right away my uncle's like, I'm a lineman for the Cardinals. And the Cardinals sucked. Nobody knew who anybody was. Right. So our waiter was like, what, really? He's like, yeah, I'm a lineman. He's a lineman too. To my dad. Like, my dad's not even that big of a guy.
Right.
Like, whoa. That's incredible, man. How long have you been on the team? Oh, the last couple of years. They just put on this whole charade. Dude, like, comped meals, fucking, like,
No
the
shit.
guy, autographs, the whole nine,
Nice.
dude. Everything.
Nice.
Pictures taken.
I don't think you could do that as well anymore with the Google and everything.
Yeah, no, not at
You
all.
It's kind of everybody catches you at some
Well,
point.
once the smartphone age came in, you're kind of screwed. But, dude, yeah, they do it all the time. My dad's latest one was my uncle was in the hospital and getting some surgery or something. And the doctor walks in, and my uncle's like, oh, have you met my brother? He's a doctor from Israel. And he's like, really? Where? My dad puts on this Israeli accent.
Oh,
he's
jeez.
like, Tel Aviv. Just like starts
Tel
going
Aviv.
off, making up guys' names. And
Nice.
the doctor's like, oh, yeah, is he okay? And he's like, well, I mean, he's having some women problems. He goes, oh, yeah. The doctor's like, I can totally see that. Yeah, that guy was a...
Like you do.
Dude, totally.
Oh, my
Kept
God.
it going.
Oh my god.
They do that shit all the time. It's hilarious. So yeah, I don't know what shows do you have coming up?
Comedy. Well, I'm just pretty much at Stand Up Scottsdale every weekend right now. That's kind of what I've been doing.
Yeah.
We'll see. I might have a thing headlining show coming up sometime in January, but I'll throw that on my website if I figure out how to adjust a website. If I get my phone back and start my life over again.
Turn your life around.
Turn my life around. Inspirational. Oh man, I just can't. I just feel so weird not having a phone because that's what I use to like deal with social anxiety.
Oh shit!
Do you know what I
People are
mean?
freaking out right now.
Yeah, because it's like usually like when you're just sitting there. Like last night at the shows, I was like, I just want to go home.
Oh,
I go, this is not. I was just
You had
like,
nothing to deflect.
I had nothing to do. I was just sitting there like in a room and just going. Okay.
I always hate that though. I always hate hanging out in the green room and every comic's on the phone. So
Yeah.
I'm like on my phone just diddling. Like I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
I have nothing to look at.
But just to sit there and be like, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm just sitting here, you know?
Yeah.
It sucks, man.
It's so funny.
It just sucks just being in the moment and not having any clue about anything that's going on outside. I mean, it's good, but it's like it takes, like I did when I did that reality show, they took our phones away and your laptop and you just had you got to sit there and talk to the other people, you know, the other 14 people and be
Sucks,
like,
man.
just like, wow, this is
And you had nothing, man. So that house had no phones.
no phones,
Couldn't
no,
call anybody. Couldn't watch TV. No radio.
no TV, no anything.
Man, no computer. No. They didn't have a computer set up that you could just email.
Mm-mm.
Whew.
No.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a weird. It kind of was cool. I mean, it was cool in a sense that it kind of gave me a chance to like just take a. It was weird because I remember like we were filming, and we had a day off, and we went to go see that movie Gone Girl. So I'd never been to New York before, and we're like going around New York, and I'm like, okay, this is weird enough as it is. I'm with 14 strangers, right? And I'm sitting in the movie, watching the movie, And I'm like, I'm in goddamn New York City watching a movie. And I just never got that out of my brain, like the surreal. And like, this is, because in that movie, they talk about being on they're going to watch a reality show, like in the movie. And I'm like going, yeah, I'm on a fucking reality show right now. I'm like, this is bizarre. You know, it was just a weird, like, out-of-body experience. And I was just like, okay, my life's just gotten weird, man.
Well, what's weird is you have a day off and you hang out with all the people that you're living with already.
Yeah, because they were, like, chaperoning, so we couldn't go anywhere by ourselves.
Oh,
great.
no way.
Yeah. Oh, even, like, to go to the bathroom, they're like, okay, you got to go to the bathroom? It's like, okay, they'd walk somebody down the hall with you and you'd be like...
Because
then it sucked, because when you had to take
run away?
Well, when you had to take a shit, it was obvious you were taking a shit because you were in there forever, you know? It's just like, I'm going to be a while. I'm just be like, sorry, but I got to take... Because I was trying not to take shits at the house because it's like, we had like 6 dudes in the top floor, 1 bathroom, and I'm like, I'm not going to go in there and shit and just reek up the whole, reek up the whole upstairs. And one guy snored really bad, big dude snored, and I snore, and we had bunk beds, so like I couldn't sleep to save. By the end, I was just exhausted, man. I was just so, because we were doing like 12, 13-hour days. And I was like just wiped out, maybe sleeping 4 hours at the most, because of the snoring and the move. Because every time he'd move, he was on the bottom.
It would shake the bed.
It would shake the whole bed. It was one of those IKEA ones, it's just like flimsy. And
Couldn't you just go sleep on the couch or something?
There's one couch that was down 4 stories down. It was a 4-story brownstone. I slept downstairs one night. Yeah, I did sleep down one stair. But yeah, it was a trip, man. I enjoyed it. I liked everybody that was on the show. It was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Everyone
man.
was pretty cool.
I can't wait to see it, dude. It's January 4th, right?
January 4th, yeah.
Sunday, January 4th. Worst Cooks in America.
Yep.
Worst Cooks in Seminar.
Worst Cook Seminar.
It's called Worst Cooks in America. The website that you can find Mike at is MosesKennedy.com.
Yep.
Moses Kennedy on everything, right? Twitter, the whole nine?
Twitter and Instagram, it's Kennedy PI, like Magnum,
okay, cool.
like Magnum PI, but Kennedy PI.
Yeah, I'll be your black friend.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Dude, that PI shit, I'd love it. Thanks for coming on. Dude.
Thanks, buddy, for having me, man. I enjoyed it.
Everybody, thanks for listening, and enjoy your week.
This has been another proud production of the 4-Eyed Radio Network. You want to see more shows, go check out www.4eyeradio.com, you winkers.